Hey, what's up everyone? Again today, I'm not in an ice bath. I just felt my body didn't need it today. I did my temazcal last night that I already did a video on explaining about that, and it was fucking amazing. I felt really good after that. And today I just feel pretty tired from it. It is an intense thing to do on the body. And then you go into it, they have a cold pool after that you go into, and yeah, like anyone suffering from depression and anxiety, you should definitely try things like that. I know, depending on where you live, there's a lot of spas that offer the sauna cold. That's an incredibly potent stack when it comes to healing mental health, and that's like my favorite thing to do. That's been helping me. So yeah, today I just didn't feel like doing it. Just wanted to take it easy today. I did some yoga, just some light stretching, really, and played some piano. That helps. And I've also found that, doing these things, some ice bath, temazcal, has also helped with my piano and guitar playing, interestingly enough, because I wasn't playing that for a while until I started to feel a little bit better. So today, since I'm not in an ice bath, I actually want to touch more on what I was talking about 2 days ago in the ice bath about subconscious programming, specifically how it pertains to trauma. I talked yesterday how temazcal is a great way to heal from trauma. And trauma, actually, as I'm learning now, because I'm new to this, as I'm learning, a lot of trauma gets picked up as we're a child, specifically from age 0 to 7. And that is because again, I've referenced this in Bruce Lipton's works, the book Biology of Belief, which I highly recommend. He talks about how our subconscious programming is made predominantly during the ages 0 to 7, and that's because we're operating in a theta brainwave state. We have multiple different brainwave states. The theta brainwave state is actually associated with the meditative state, the hypnotic state. It's a state we're in right before going into deep sleep. And our brain is actually functioning in that state from age 0 to 7. And at that point, you can think of it like a sponge. We're just absorbing information and data. And that data is creating the subconscious mind. And I believe he says the subconscious mind constitutes 95% of our brain. So a lot of our behavior, most of our behavior, is due to subconscious beliefs, subconscious programming. And again, most of that comes in at an early age, which is why we are so susceptible to trauma at that age. And when I say trauma, it doesn't necessarily mean abuse or anything like that. Obviously, that's part of it, and that's horrible, but it can be very subtle too. For example, maybe you were misbehaving and you were 5 in a grocery store, and you asked your mom if you could have something, some snack, and she said, "No, you don't deserve that. You've been bad." Although in the particular time that may be correct, the child maybe didn't deserve that because they were misbehaving, but that can be subconsciously programmed into the kid's brain of thinking, "Oh, I'm not deserving, I'm bad, I'm not deserving." And that can persist all through adulthood, and then your subconscious beliefs, your subconscious behavior is going to be thinking "Oh, I'm not deserving of that promotion. I'm not deserving of that girlfriend or boyfriend. I'm not deserving of a life of happiness." And we're not even aware of it because it was stored away in our brain long ago. But as I've talked about, it is our thoughts that create our reality. I'm starting to learn that more and more. I know for some of you listening, that might sound like woo-woo spiritual bullshit, but it's not. There's a lot of quantum physics books discussing how they believe. Of course, they're theories. But anecdotally, I can say that it's true just from my life experience. But these theories are talking about how they found that our observation and our thoughts that are just electromagnetic frequencies go out into the field and then form into the material world, and that can be delayed. I mean, you can think about something that you want, maybe you manifest it 2 years later. There's theories as to why that happens. And there's this really interesting book called Quantum Revelation by Paul Levy, and he talks about how he came to the realization that we're all just living in a waking dream. And it's crazy to think about. So if that sounds a little confusing, just think, if any of you have ever had a lucid dream, which is a dream that you have where you realize that you're dreaming while you're in the dream, and then you can control at will. And I've had many, and you can realize you're in the dream and go, oh shit, I'm gonna fly. And then you fly, and it happens instantly. And he's theorizing that we're also, when we're awake, it's still a dream, it's just more dense, and that's why we can't manifest at will. Anyways, it's a really interesting book. It's a really interesting book, and he cites a lot of quantum physics studies to prove his point. But basically what I'm getting at is our thoughts create our reality. So if our subconscious beliefs and our thoughts dominate the majority of our thinking, and our thinking create our reality, if we have a lot of trauma in our subconscious thoughts, we're going to create a reality filled with trauma and turmoil, difficulty and pain and suffering and all that low vibrational shit that we don't want. So that's why I'm starting to realize, for me and my mental health journey, that's incredibly important to identify the traumas and then seek to reprogram the subconscious wiring, which takes time, it takes repetition. Hypnosis is a way to do it. There's many ways to do it, but what I've found, again, is that using ice baths and also temazcal, so cold and heat, is a great way to reset the nervous system. And since I've become aware of certain traumas, which has led to behavior in myself that has led me to suffer from anxiety, depression, that has made me unhappy at times, I've identified it, and then when I go into the ice bath,